Ever since my first trip to Algonquin, something has been pulling me back. I thought it was the wildlife, but along the way, I discovered something more. I had a plan, 16 kilometers of trail running through the forests, marshes, and lakes. The perfect place to finally have that quiet moose encounter I had been dreaming of. But out here, plans don't last very long, and the more I tried to chase that moment, the more I found myself stopped by everything else. Maybe that's the thing about this place. You don't control the adventure, you just show up. And if you're lucky, the day ends with a story worth remembering. So I invite you to grab a warm drink, get comfortable, and join me for a 5-day adventure in Algonquin Park. I arrived at camp on Monday afternoon, eager to get set up and begin the week's adventure. This site's kind of cool because you got like a whole bunch of extra space to explore on the side. But I think I'm gonna head out, check out some of the trails here. It's finally time to show you why I chose to camp here at Mute Lake. This campground sits right beside the old airfield, now a massive blueberry field, where people have spotted everything from black bears to moose and all kinds of birds. We're a bit late for blueberry season, but hopefully just in time for the moose rut. Beyond the airfield, there's also a 16-kilometer bike trail that I plan to explore over the next week. Maybe it'll give me a better chance of finding moose deeper in the park. I figured I had plenty of time to explore this trail later, so I headed back to the field to see what I could photograph. Figured I might as well get some practice shots on the geese flying in, right? Yep, I think morning walk out here could be something. That's what I want. Trying to watch for them. Oh. Here comes some more Canadian geese. Oh, what's that? Crow? Yeah. Oh, that's a raven, I think. Oh, that is a raven. I can hear it. Okay, I like it out here. On foot is the best bet. So come out here first thing in the morning. After that, I was feeling excited about the week ahead. The field already felt full of potential, and I couldn't wait to get out there the next morning. No early morning adventure today because I was up all night battling rain. I had to shift everything to the middle of the tent and put a pop-up gazebo right above me. With the morning off to a rough start, I gave myself a bit of time to regroup with a warm coffee, and before long, that urge to explore came right back. Alright, so we're gonna go check out that trail. No bike, because that just seemed to hold me back. There's like one other guy out here tonight. Alright, I think we already missed all the potential out here today. But hey, maybe we'll get some bird activity. Goose in a sea of red. Might be kind of cool. Other than a small group of geese, I wasn't really coming across anything too exciting. So I decided to follow this long forest trail for a while, mostly out of curiosity. Well, coming out this way wasn't exactly the plan, but I don't know if there was much of a plan after getting rained in this morning. So I'm just gonna make my way back down this really long forest trail. And when I get back to the field, if it's not raining yet, I'm going to explore more around there, maybe try and photograph more of the sparrows out in the rain. And yeah, we'll just kind of see where things go. There's more of those white-crowned sparrows again, and they're hanging out up in this tree. All right, so there's so much to do and see out here. Maybe if I have time, I come back to this spot with the wide lens to get some landscape photos. But I'm starting to get hungry for lunch. I need to head back and eat, and then I can get out on my next adventure. Well, it was more spacious in here before I had to move everything to the center of the tent. But anyways, all right, discovered this one on my last camping trip. It's just a tuna salad kit. Slap it on a wrap and you're good to go. All right, gonna head out to the lookout. It's supposed to start raining pretty heavily in the next hour and a half or so. It's only a 2-kilometer trail. Internet says it takes about a half an hour to an hour, depending on how much time you take, you know? Knowing me, I'm gonna get caught out there, but that's all right. So it's incredibly packed here, but I figured it's a touristy thing to do. I gotta get out there and just at least take a couple photos of the lookout. Out of breath after that hill, but I wanted to get ahead of everybody. Somewhere right over here, the very first time Sarah and I came here, it was, yeah, it's this rock wall right here. Super cool. I feel like there's no way this is coming off on camera. All right, if I recall, this is the grand reveal right here. Despite a lot of traffic on the trail, this turned out to be the best use of a rainy afternoon, seeing the fall colors at their peak. Well, I'm hoping some time lapses turned out back at the lookout. It was definitely very touristy, but I had some fun, and you can't deny that the colors look amazing. All right, I'm gonna go chill for a bit. I'll tune you guys in when we get up to something. That evening, I didn't get up to anything else. I felt like day one showed so much potential, and I woke up hoping to build on that. But sometimes, I guess all it takes is a little bit of rain for the whole day to fall apart. Don't get me wrong, I still feel like I made the most of it, but for day 3, I knew I needed an early start. I thought the airfield deserved another try, because I really felt like that's where I was going to have the best chance at encountering something amazing. I felt like the morning was slipping away a bit. The sunrise was beautiful, but the wildlife just wasn't showing up the way I had hoped. However, I did run into a guy named Vic, and he mentioned a cow moose he'd been seeing about 6 kilometers down the bike trail, and that was enough to give me a bit of motivation again. Of course, it was a little late in the morning now to spot a moose, so I stuck around in the airfield while I planned out the rest of my day. I was trying to line this little sparrow up with the light shining through the tree. I'm gonna head over to the Spruce Boardwalk. That's the first trail that Kurt and I explored in June. And I'm gonna go there and try to find Canada jays. I'd be really excited for that. Because so far, this trip has been, in a way, lacking any good wildlife photos. With a plan set, I was ready to move on. However, I had a surprise encounter on the way out. There he is. I think it's a blue jay trying to get the falcon. Well, if I get another opportunity, I upped my exposure compensation, so the photo will hopefully be a little bit brighter. I saw them for a second. I think the merlin's just trying to get cover from the blue jay. Wonder which path gets in closer. Probably just stick with the one I'm on, and then I'll go down the middle main path and just kind of hope it works from there. We'll see. Yeah, I think they're just over here. I'm on the main trail now. It's apparently up in that tree, but I don't... Oh, I see him. He didn't get the blue jay, did he? Nope, he's got nothing. There's a branch in the way. I could not have been ready for that. Oh, that's cool. Just looking out from behind the branch. Back at camp, I cleared my cameras, had a snack, and prepared for the next adventure. Alright, so we're headed off to the Spruce Boardwalk next, where I'm hoping to come across some Canada jays. It was pretty busy at this next location, but I was still hopeful for some bird activity. And sure enough, I heard the familiar call of some friendly black-capped chickadees. Cheeseburger. Too close. This is crazy. So I decided to step off the path to get away from the crazy amount of people that are out there. And I found all the birds. Am I supposed to have something for you? Honestly, I was so focused on hoping that I'd see some birds out here. I forgot I could have tried some landscape photography because there's some pretty nice colors back there. I think I got some good shots with my phone anyways, so oh well. That was cool. I didn't roll the GoPro quick enough, but I just took photos of a chickadee open up a nest and pull the larvae out and eat it. Alright, this is good. We got chickadees like doing natural stuff. But did I really come all the way to Algonquin for chickadees? Honestly, I came all the way to Algonquin for everything. Just nature. And as long as I see some cool stuff, I'm happy. I'm gonna start heading back to camp now and try to think of somewhere to go. I don't know what to do. It is a lot more difficult than I expected for wildlife photography out here. I was feeling a little lost on this trip, but then I remembered what Vic told me this morning and why I picked this location to begin with. So I decided after some lunch, I would finally hop back on the bike and go check out the trail. All right, I'm gonna go for a bike ride again. We'll see how far I can get. Nice little river spot down there. Oh, it looks beautiful. Oh, that looks super worth going down. Oh, it's not that bad. Oh yeah, I'm glad I got the camera out. Gotta enjoy it. You know, if I don't see any wildlife, at least I'm gonna have some really nice landscape photos, right? All right. Well, that was a pretty interesting spot. Man, it is beautiful out here. Holy. Maybe this is where he was talking about for moose in the morning. By canoe's gotta be the best way to see moose out here. So I'm thinking a compressed shot here would look really cool. So I'm just gonna find my settings. And then I'm gonna do, I want that in focus, I think. Yeah, early morning with like fog coming up and everything. This would be a really neat spot. Well, that's kind of nice too. So I've decided I'm going to push on a little bit further because I want to know what it looks like over here along this river. See if there's some more big marshes to look out at. And yeah, between here and there, this might be where I need to go in the morning. So I think this is the plan. I'm gonna bike all of this in the morning, and maybe we'll see a moose out in these marshes. Even after all that exploring, I still got back to camp pretty early, so I decided to just relax, enjoy a warm fire, and see what I could photograph around camp while dinner cooked. Well, I definitely feel like I'm missing out on something out there, but here's hoping tomorrow goes well. Well, I woke up this morning and my water for coffee was literally frozen. It's pretty chilly. I'm gonna warm up around this fire, get my coffee made, eat some breakfast, and try to get out there. Hopefully, we can still get out before the sun rises. All right, I'm ready to rock and roll. Today's the day. Let's do this. I quickly realized that everything was covered in a layer of frost. And as I biked through the field, I couldn't help but think I should just stop here. But I had a plan, and I knew I had to stick with it this time. Well, we're just at the first spot that I stopped at yesterday. Just want to look at the view. Struggling with the same feeling as yesterday. Do I just enjoy the scenery? Because that is amazing. Morning. As it turned out, Vic was on his way to the moose spot this morning, and he was kind enough to allow me to tag along. Well, sat on this bench here all morning, watching for moose. No luck, unfortunately, though. After a disappointing morning, my day began to fall apart. I tried to capture some last-minute photos of the frost before it was all gone, but for the most part, it was too late. I even tried spending some time in the fields that afternoon, but I was feeling pretty disappointed and didn't capture much other than a northern harrier circling above. I don't know if I should try to hike over that way or not. He might just come my way if I wait patiently. It's Thursday, tomorrow's the last full day, and I've seen a lot of cool stuff. I've had a lot of fun of exploring. I've taken some incredible videos that look like, for iPhone quality, they look like they belong in a movie. But I can't help but feel a little bit disappointed in terms of the wildlife photography that I've actually done. And I don't know if it's just the time of year, the amount of people up here. Like maybe I've just been too go, 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 and I need to slow the heck down and just look. ended up spending the afternoon back at camp. And as it turned out, I was right where I needed to be, because out on the water, I spotted a wood duck. He's coming closer. Well, I was supposed to be leaving to go try and see the moose again, but this wood duck, of course, caught my attention. This is exactly the push I needed to get back out and try again. And honestly, I'm not sure why I haven't tried looking for moose in the evening yet, because when it comes to wildlife, I've always had more luck at dusk. Alright, so I got kind of excited about the wood duck photos there. They're not super crazy, but it was fun to finally photograph something, and it kind of gave me that spark again. So I'm gonna try to go find the moose at night, because Vic said he saw 2 last night. So maybe, just maybe, the evening will have better luck than the mornings. Now, if you wanted a free piece of advice, and it's probably really obvious, but when you're in a place like this, always have your camera ready. Because by the time I got my camera out, this grouse was totally gone. It's pretty tough to tell from my crappy photo. It's definitely a grouse. And I think that might be the spruce grouse, because I don't know a ruffled grouse to have that kind of coloring there. All right, let's get to that moose spot. I walked along the edge of the trail, and before I knew it, I spotted movement across the marsh. No way. There's a moose straight across. A moose stood tall among the reeds, and as she shifted, I noticed a second shape just behind her, a young calf. It wasn't the most dramatic encounter, and the photos definitely aren't as strong as the ones I got back in June. But honestly, I couldn't help but feel proud of this moment. After all, this was the whole reason I came out here. A quiet encounter with a moose, far from the crowds. Well, there we have it. Finally have my moose sighting. I'm gonna pack up. I wanted to spend a few more minutes with these guys, but they're not coming in any closer. And I figured I should try to start making my way back anyways, because it's gonna get dark out here. Well, that was a pretty good last night in Algonquin. I just didn't quite nail the timing right this year to really see any peak activity. So, you know, it's a learning experience, but there's still one more day left. So maybe I can just finalize with some nice bird photos out in that field or something else. You never know. The next morning, something felt different. All week, I had been chasing one moment, and now it finally felt like I could breathe again. The pressure was gone, and for the first time on this trip, I wasn't searching for anything. As I stepped out into the frosty field, it excited me, because this time, I knew I could just enjoy it. But little did I know, nature had a surprise in store for me. I managed to capture a few photos before the fog rolled in, but it just got so thick, I didn't think I would see the northern harrier again. But as we know, these fields have been full of geese this week, and with a scene like this, you just can't pass it up. With the northern harrier spotted again, I walked out into the field to find a spot where I could quietly wait. I just turned around because I was like, that low-key looks like a rainbow. And then the northern harrier just pops up out of the field. Well, I think this has been a very successful morning. It's not quite over yet. Hang out here a little bit longer before I leave. And just like that, the morning felt quiet, bringing an end to my week in Algonquin. A week of wandering, of plans falling apart and coming together in ways I never expected. And I guess that's the thing about nature. It shows up when it wants to. And when it does, it has a way of reminding you why you keep coming back. So I hope this encourages you to head out on that next adventure and make some memories worth remembering. Thanks for watching, and I hope to see you in the next one.